Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's time for Midweek Motivation Live with your host, this guy, Patrick Lee. Good to see everyone on here today. I want to talk to you a little bit for a few minutes today, get all the other media here turned off, get rid of the distractions. Hope everyone's doing good today. I need to look at the camera more, don't I? But my screen's down here but my camera's up here. So if you're watching on YouTube, it still looks good. This show is simulcast into YouTube and Facebook World Live every week, and I'm looking at adding a couple of other social media platforms to that. I think we're fixing to be able to start streaming live to LinkedIn as well, and able to share this to some other social media platforms. And still talking about doing the podcast. We have over 100 shows in the can already, all the audio on those recorded, to start converting to podcast with a ton of content for everybody. So really, I'm so blessed that y'all continue to watch and listen each week. Love the show. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure and subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell icon, and you will be subscribed and notified every time we go live here for Midweek Motivation Live, and then the other videos that we do. Lately, we've been interviewing some big names in the real estate world, the motivational speaking world, and those are going out live and being shared on other social media platforms as well. Good to see everybody already on here today, tuning in, watching the show. The people of you that listen, I get more and more people every week telling me they've been listening to the show, and that just really makes me happy. Typing a few notes here, and I want to talk to you today about a trip I just took to Oregon, some of the things that happened along the way, and a great speaker that I listened to, and I think you're going to enjoy it. And just making one more note in here for a banner. Y'all comment. People are already chiming in with comments. Love that. Hey, good morning, Miss Christine. Good morning. Good to see you on here. And it's all good. It's all good. People are tuning in. Some people are tuning out. They're like, this guy's just rambling. What are we talking about today? It's all good. I love it. Had a wonderful week out in Oregon. And my little brother got married. I was the best man. I like to think that I'm always the best man. Ha ha ha. Especially around my little brother. I love teasing my little brother. Wonderful experience, my little brother and Christine, who's a faithful watcher of the show, and all the way out in Oregon. And they got married this weekend. It was glorious, and we had a wonderful time, and we made memories. And really, the message that I want to talk to you a little bit about today is a message that the idea came to me as I was listening to a young man, Trevor, this weekend, speaking about experiences. And I've heard it said, and maybe you have too, that in the past, that a man with an experience, that's the banner I was typing out. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it to you guys here. A man with an experience, or a person, right? A person with an experience beats or trumps a person with a theory every day. I'll say that again. A person with an experience beats out a person with a theory every day. Like, how do you spell every day? Or every time. Let's say every time. A person with an experience beats out a person with a theory every time. And that wasn't really the message that I heard, but the message was about experiences. There we go. A person with an experience beat out a person with a theory every time. Hey, Marlene, tuning in today also. Love that. I'm so glad to be back in the saddle here at Studio One, live and in person in the downtown Tower Executive Office Suites in the First Bank National First Bank Southwest Tower in downtown Amarillo, the tallest building on the panhandle of Texas horizon. So you can always find my office. Just look for the tallest building in town, and that's where we'll be, on the 18th floor here in Studio One. And but the message I heard this morning, Trevor was speaking about experiences, and he got me to thinking. I did a message from Oregon this last week, and that one was a great one. Love that. I love doing messages whenever I'm back home in Oregon. They're always fun. I have so many memories and things to pull from, to speak about. Marlene's this comment goes on, doing a happy dance that you're back. That's awesome. I'm doing a happy dance here in the office as soon as I get done with this show. I'll be doing a Scottish jig. I've got some experience lately and found out that most of my life I thought I was Irish. Here, you guys will get a kick out of this. My descent is Irish, Black Dutch, and American Indian. And I did the DNA test through Ancestry.com. Yes, Ancestry.com. You spit in a cup and you send it back to them, and they tell you who your real ancestors were. I am not sponsored by Ancestry.com, but I found out that I am nearly half Scottish and less than 2% Irish. So mainly Irish. The reason my family believed I was Irish is because our Scottish ancestors settled in Ireland and then migrated to America. Very little, if any, Irish whatsoever, and a little bit of American Indian if we go way, way, way back, mainly because the Scottish ancestors of mine settled in the central Appalachian Mountains, and then, fell in love with and married some American Indian. So we do have some Indian in our blood on my dad's side and my mom's side, but mostly Scottish. So all of this time I've been thinking I was Irish. I was wrong, sadly mistaken. So now I have an experience to pull from, right? I'm more Scottish than Irish, and that's something that I'll be researching more in the future. But while I was there in Oregon, I had a lot of memories, a lot of experiences that popped up. And then my older daughter Candace went with me, and Eric and Christine, and we went to the beach and we did some four-wheeling, and we had some other experiences that that were fun. But really, the topic today is experiences. A person with an experience beats out a person with a theory every time. What do I really want to tell you about that? It's hard to speak to a person with your theory and get them to believe that your theory is true if there are no experiences behind that. We've also heard it said in the past, and where I'm from, you may have heard this term before: the proof is in the pudding. What does that mean? If the recipe is not done right, the pudding will not turn out. The proof, if someone has followed the recipe, is in the pudding. The experience, if the experience is true, then the product will be worthy. And that's really what this is about today, is experiences. I want my life to be full of experiences, and I want your life to be the same. If you want to be fulfilled in life, if you want to be happy, if you want to be successful, I believe that you need to have a series of happy, successful experiences along the way. It can be very lonely trying to build an empire and maybe make money and have a lot of the things that life has to offer. But if you don't have pleasant experiences along the way, that's going to be an awfully empty feeling when you get to the end of your life. We went to the ocean, went down to the beach, and as I did growing up, my brothers and I and all of our friends, we used to go to go four-wheeling. We had sand rails, we had Baja Volkswagens and dune buggies and four-wheel drive Jeeps and pickups, and you let out a lot of the air in your tires down in the sand, and you go four-wheeling everywhere. We crossed rivers and streams and climbed hills and mountains, forged trails of our own, and made memories. So we went down as a surprise. My brother and the family decided to surprise me by taking his four-wheel drive truck down to the beach to go four-wheeling. And there are many times, I have experiences, right? So many times we'd go down to the beach and someone would get stuck or break something. And 9 times out of 10, we broke something on the truck, a tie rod, a drive line, a shock mount, a motor mount, where we submerged a truck or a Volkswagen in the ocean, in the water, in a creek, in a pond, or a lake. And everyone pitched in, pulled out the tools to dig the person out and fix them up. Hey, Sal, good to see you again as well. Hope everything's going good with you. Love it that you guys tune in each and every week. Sal's a longtime supporter and listener of the show. But anytime we would experience something like that, everyone pitched in and we helped everybody out, and we made the repair, and we continued having fun. You know why? Because someone there had experienced what we had been through before. So as we're cutting some cookies and throwing sand and cruising around on the beach, we hit these 2 big washouts, long, deep ruts in the sand, about 2.5, 3 foot deep, and just totally bottomed out the shocks on the front end of the truck. Not once, but twice and nearly 3 times driving around as we hit these big sand washouts. And it's pretty eye-opening when you're out there racing the engine and throwing sand and having a good time. Then all of a sudden you hit these 2 giant sand washouts, like these deep ruts in the sand. And we started hearing something rubbing, and we knew at that moment we had experienced something that was not going to be pleasant. And we were able to get the truck off of the beach up into the parking lot, rubbing metal on metal, and wasn't sure what we had done. And what we had done was we had bent the sway bar on the front end of the truck. When we bottomed out the front end, we bent these knuckles that hold the ends of the sway bar in place. And one end, when we turned the wheel to the right or the left, we were rubbing the inside of the rim on the bottom corner of that sway bar. And of course, because we had an experience, we pulled out the jack and the tire irons and jack crowbars that were in the jack kit. And we were able to wedge that sway bar back up into position the way it was supposed to be, to where it was drivable, and we're able to continue having a good time and get back home and went for a drive. And it all came back to the experiences. Hear a phone ring, and sorry, it's not you guys, and it's not me either. It must be in a nearby office. It's a pretty loud one. But because of the experiences that we had growing up, the girls immediately thought this is going to be a long walk back to town. But it was not. We actually had it fixed in about 5 minutes, and we were back on the road because we knew what needed to be done, because we had an experience. How many times in life have you met someone and they wanted to tell you their theory about life? Raise your hand, like, love, share the show. They have a theory about how they think life works. And I have friends like that, and you do too, I'm sure. They say, this is how you need to be acting to be successful. This is the way you need to approach your job if you want to be successful. Listen, if you want to sell more houses, you need to do this, this, and this. If you want to be more successful in your restaurant, in your business, if you want to be a better consultant, you have to do this, this, and this. And you ask them why. What kind of meat on the bone is there to support their theory? And if that person does not have the experience that says what they're saying is true, then I would challenge you to say that person does not need to be speaking into your life. That person does not need to be your mentor. That person does not need to be pouring into you. We've talked about, and I sound like a broke record, but we talk a lot about you becoming a product, a mixture of, or an average of, your 5 closest friends. Who are you letting speak into your life? A person with an experience has actually been there and done that, right? They've got the t-shirt. They've been down the road that you're traveling. And you can discuss theory after theory after theory, and they may be true. Some of those theories may be true, They may help lead you down the road to success because, in essence, the theory may be a fairly simple theory. It may have been derived from other people's experiences or many books that that person may have read. And they're simple sales techniques or sales tactics or coping techniques for personality disorders, depression, things along those lines. And they can say, you need to do this. I have shared on the show many times, right? Good morning, Pat Magic. That's me. How you doing, Ross? Good to see you as well. A person may have a fairly good theory about what it takes for you to be happier, for you to be successful, for you to do more things in life. But until that person has actually went out and done that, they don't have the authority to actually tell you that's what you need to do. Whenever I'm looking for mentors in my life, the people that I choose to listen to while I'm building my team and my business, my name and my brand are people who have actually went out and done it. I can consult with numerous people, and I do, because the Bible talks about seeking, many wise people to pour into you. So I listen to many people that have been down the road ahead of me that can help me, and the people that have made the mistakes that I don't want to make. There are many times that the best way for you to learn is by mistake, right? The best way to make a good decision is by what? First, making a few bad decisions. Because once you've made a couple of bad decisions, you have the experience to know that that's not the way to do it. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb quickly. First, he discovered 1,000 ways not to invent a light bulb. And then eventually, he had found the way that worked. You know why he had to do it 1,000 times? Because no one had done it before he did. And some of you may want to argue that statement and say, someone else did. Someone else invented the light bulb. Someone else invented the phonograph. Someone else invented electricity. Someone else invented these currents. Well, that may be true, but no one patented the light bulb before Thomas Edison, a working example of a reusable light bulb. Thomas Edison invented over 1,000 light bulbs that did not work. He had the experience. If someone wanted to come along after Edison and invent a light bulb or develop a light bulb, Edison would have been the best person to discuss that with, right? Raise your hand if truth resonates with you. Okay, it's okay to say right. It's just true. If you want to be happier in life, you need to go talk to people that have experienced happiness in their life. I have friends that have experienced great loss. I've experienced it in my own family, right? Many of you have as well. But I choose to be happy because I've experienced happiness. I've experienced the wrong ways to live life, the ways to stay down in the dumps and try to get through life and struggle through life. But the thing that I have realized, the thing that has kept me going all of these years is that I chose happiness because I learned how to experience happiness. I'm choosing success in life because I'm choosing to follow people who have been successful. I'm following the people with an experience as opposed to the people with a theory. I can read books all day long and I can listen to podcasts all day long from people who claim to have done something, but until I know that they have the experience, probably not going to put as much credence on what they have to say. I want to have experiences in my life that are going to change me, and I want you to have them too. I don't want to sit behind closed walls and closed doors for the remainder of my days, hoping or wishing that I could get out and do something bigger and better, wishing that I could go on a cruise, that I could go walk the beaches of the world, that I could fly around and maybe have breakfast in Paris one day and dinner in Dallas the next day. You know what I mean? I want to have experiences with the people that I love. I want them to be able to travel with me. I want us to be able to walk through the park and feed the ducks together. I want to be able to have experiences with people in business that have challenged me and we've gone out and achieved great goals. And we can say we had those experiences together. I'll never forget endoing my brother's truck on the beach this week. We made a memory. We have an experience. The previous experience helped us get through this experience. And every one of these experiences are stepping stones to your future, right? A person with an experience beats out a person with a theory every time. If you want to have a brighter future, if you want to have more fun, if you want to be more successful, follow people with the experience that you need. Follow them closely, run as fast as they run, and seek to learn everything that they know. There may be someone in your life that has tons of experiences and can help you move down the road to where you want to go. And every piece of material that that person has put out, I would recommend you buy it. I read a story, actually listened to a man talk one day who had gone to a seminar, a very successful speaker, went to a seminar. His mind was enlightened by the person he was listening to, and he told his assistant, go out to his book table and buy one of everything. Here's my Black American Express card. And he went out there and he came back and he told him, if I buy one of everything that he has, it's going to cost you a couple of $1,000. Are you sure it's worth the price? And he snapped back at his assistant and said, that's a very small price to pay for the experiences this man has had. Yes, it's worth the price. Go buy it. And he did. I've had friends and myself have done it as well, where we have gone and bought every book that person has written. I've bought multiple cassettes and CDs in the past from people because they resonate with me. Their experiences can, cause me to grow, and they lead me down the road towards success. You can never, the price that you pay is always worth it if it's moving you towards where you want to go in life. Okay. We share that on the show a lot as well. The price you will pay, you just need to determine, is the outcome going to be worth it? And if it is, the price is always worth it. I want you to have the same experiences in life that I do. I want you to be happy. I want you to be successful. I want you to have a lot of friends and relationships. And that's why I do this show every week, Midweek Motivation Live. I appreciate you guys coming back each and every week to watch me. Like, love, and share this post, this show. Share it with your friends and family. I would sure appreciate it. We are looking at growing on the YouTube channel. We're looking at growing over 10,000 followers so we can experience more things and be able to help more people achieve some higher levels on that social media platform. So if you can do that, like and share the show on YouTube as well, subscribe, I would sure appreciate that. I hope that this show has found you well and that I have motivated you some to help you get through the rest of this week. Until next week, this has been Patrick Lee with Midweek Motivation Live. If I can help you, or anyone that wants to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate, please click on the link to my digital business card in the comments below this show. It's also going by on the ticker on screen right now, www.patricklee.work. That will bring you to my digital business card created by Content Cardz. Content Cardz, C-A-R-D-Z, Content Cardz with a Z. Those guys are phenomenal, and they can do the same thing for you if you're in the real estate space. Click on the link. It'll take you to my calendar, all of my social media platforms, my biography, and all of my contact info. And we'll see how I can get together and help you, your friends or loved ones as well. Until then, you guys, I sure appreciate it. Love you. You guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.